Many people cry out for wealth, success, and divine favor, yet they overlook the sacred, simple acts that hold hidden spiritual power. God, in His infinite wisdom, often conceals blessings within the ordinary. What seems common in the physical realm carries deep, symbolic meaning in the spiritual. Rice and cinnamon, two humble ingredients from the kitchen, become in the hands of faith, instruments of divine multiplication and the fragrance of heavenly favor. When a believer understands that matter itself is a vessel of spirit, the veil between the natural and the divine begins to lift. Rice and cinnamon are not just food, they are encoded symbols of abundance and sweetness before the throne of God. In the language of energy, rice vibrates with the frequency of increase, while cinnamon emits the vibration of warmth, attraction, and joyful expansion. Together, they become an alchemy of prosperity. Why is it that some people attract opportunities effortlessly while others remain trapped in cycles of struggle? The answer lies in spiritual understanding. Prayer without corresponding action is incomplete. But when faith is embodied through a prophetic gesture, through the sanctified use of simple elements, the unseen begins to move. Physical action aligned with divine intention becomes a bridge between heaven and earth. In biblical history, God used ordinary materials, salt, oil, water, dust, to unlock extraordinary miracles. These were not superstitions but sacred technologies of faith. Similarly, when you combine rice and cinnamon in prayer, you are not performing magic. You are enacting a spiritual law, the law of harvest and attraction. The same way a seed releases its hidden life when planted, a prophetic act releases spiritual power when done in faith. Rice represents the seed of increase, the promise that what begins small will multiply. Cinnamon embodies the aroma of divine favor, the sweetness that causes doors to open and hearts to be drawn toward you. When the two are united under the authority of your prayer, they mirror the divine covenant between heaven's supply and your obedience. But the power does not rest in the rice or the spice. The true power lies in your spoken word. When you declare life, abundance, and divine order over these symbols, the invisible realms respond. Heaven recognizes faith expressed through action. Energy follows intention, and intention sanctified by gratitude attracts miracles. This is not about manipulation, it's about alignment. When your heart, your words, and your actions align with the rhythm of divine wisdom, you enter the current of supernatural provision. You step into the same flow that multiplied the widow's oil and the loaves in the hands of Christ. The same God who breathed over dust to create life can breathe over rice and cinnamon to awaken increase in your world. In this teaching, your understanding will deepen. You will learn not just how to perform the act, but how to embody it. Because prosperity, favor, and open doors are not random, they are the natural results of vibrational agreement with divine order. As you listen, something within you will awaken, the realization that God's abundance has always been near, waiting for your faith to activate it. Rice carries within it an ancient vibration of multiplication and divine sustenance. Every grain is a silent testimony that increase begins small. Hold a handful of rice, and you are holding 1,000 seeds of promise. Across cultures and centuries, rice has been a universal emblem of abundance, nourishment, and celebration. Spiritually, it mirrors God's eternal message: you will never lack if you walk in faith. In the Bible, divine multiplication always begins with gratitude. When Jesus lifted the loaves and fishes, he did not complain about how little there was, he gave thanks. And in that moment, the energy of heaven responded to thanksgiving, and what was not enough became more than sufficient. Rice carries that same principle. It is the grain of gratitude. When blessed, it becomes a spiritual magnet for increase, for gratitude multiplies what it touches. The rice you hold today is more than food, it is symbolic life force, a reflection of your faith in divine provision. Each grain represents a possibility, a door, a connection waiting to unfold. When you pray over it, you are not just speaking words, you are encoding energy into matter, commanding it to align with the law of abundance. You are speaking to creation the same way God spoke light into existence. In energetic science, everything vibrates. Faithful words carry frequency. When you speak life over rice, the vibration of your words merges with the vibration of the grain. This fusion creates a resonance that attracts circumstances of increase. You are, in that moment, co-creating with God. Your declaration transforms simple grains into containers of divine energy. But rice also carries another sacred truth: stability. It stores well. It endures. Spiritually, it teaches us that true wealth is not just about sudden miracles but lasting provision. When you pray with rice, you are asking not only for overflow, but for sustainability, that the blessings you receive will not fade, but will remain, grow, and pass down through generations. Think of the rice fields after the rain. The stalks bow low, heavy with abundance. That image is the spiritual law in motion. Humility before the source leads to overflowing supply. God's abundance does not run dry, it waits for the soul that is willing to sow with trust and reap with gratitude. So as you hold the rice in your palm, breathe slowly. Let your spirit quiet. See every grain as a prophecy of increase. Speak gently but firmly, my life will multiply. My work will prosper. My storehouse will never be empty. Feel your words vibrate through your hand. Let the field of your destiny awaken. This is not wishful thinking, it is spiritual technology. When your belief and your words merge with divine law, heaven recognizes the signal. The energy of provision begins to circulate around you. Suddenly, opportunities start finding you. Delays lose their hold. Where there was drought, rain begins to fall. From this moment forward, never look at rice the same way again. It is a reminder that everything you need to prosper is already in your hands. You only need to activate it with faith. Now let us turn our attention to cinnamon, the spice of sacred sweetness, the fragrance that once filled the tabernacle of God. In the book of Exodus, the Lord instructed Moses to use cinnamon as one of the holy ingredients in the anointing oil, a perfume reserved for consecration and divine presence. That oil was not merely aromatic, it was a carrier of divine energy. Wherever it was poured, the atmosphere changed. Holiness descended. Favor followed. Cinnamon scent awakens the soul. It is warm, inviting, and magnetic, qualities that mirror the movement of divine favor in your life. When its fragrance rises in prayer, it symbolizes your petitions ascending before God's throne, drawing the attention of heavenly helpers and divine benefactors. Spiritually, cinnamon represents attraction, the invisible pull that draws opportunities, kindness, and resources toward you. Its sweetness speaks to transformation. What was once bitter becomes pleasant. Where there was delay, there is now acceleration. The aroma of cinnamon carries prophetic meaning. It shifts the atmosphere of stagnation into one of progress and joy. In energy language, cinnamon resonates with the frequency of movement and magnetism. It breaks the vibration of resistance and opens pathways of flow. When you bring cinnamon into your spiritual practice, you are not calling upon superstition but reawakening a forgotten divine law, that the same God who infused fragrance into creation made certain scents symbolic of his presence and favor. The warmth of cinnamon becomes a reminder that divine grace makes your name remembered in high places. Like its fragrance, true favor travels faster than words. It announces you before anyone sees your face. Cinnamon's sacred energy also represents purity. God himself chose it to sanctify his priests and vessels. So when you pray with cinnamon, you invite purity and sanctification into your finances, your home, and your destiny. It burns away stagnation and clears away the energetic residue of lack and fear. Its presence in your prayer space shifts heaviness into harmony. Spiritually, think of cinnamon as the fire of favor. When it touches your life, it ignites recognition where you were overlooked. It melts the cold barriers that kept blessings from reaching you. Those who once ignored your gifts will begin to remember your name. Doors that refuse to open will start to respond, because divine fragrance cannot be contained. It spreads, announcing your arrival in unseen realms. Even in mystical traditions of the East, cinnamon symbolizes inner warmth and abundance. The monks of Tibet used it in incense to attract good fortune and clarity. In both East and West, it carries the same energetic message: sweetness follows sincerity, and warmth follows devotion. When you combine rice and cinnamon in faith, you are merging two powerful vibrations: multiplication and attraction. One expands what you have, the other draws to you what is missing. Together, they form a sacred code of manifestation that operates within divine law. To perform this prophetic act, you must first enter into stillness, a state where your mind and heart align with divine intention. Find a quiet place in your home, a corner that feels peaceful and untouched by distraction. This becomes your personal altar, not of stone or gold, but of energy and faith. Remember, every sacred act begins with reverence. Take a small, clean bowl and pour into it a handful of uncooked rice. As the grains fall, listen to their sound, soft, steady, countless. Let it remind you that God's provision is infinite, that every grain symbolizes a blessing waiting to manifest. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Whisper gratitude for all that you have: the food, the shelter, the life that flows through you. Gratitude is the master key that unlocks multiplication. Now take ground cinnamon and sprinkle it gently over the rice. As the fragrance rises, let your spirit awaken. This is the scent of divine favor, of sweetness overtaking bitterness. With your fingers, mix the rice and cinnamon slowly, tenderly. Feel the texture. This is the merging of faith and manifestation. Speak aloud. Lord, breathe upon this grain of abundance. Let my small become great. Let my little become plenty. Declare with conviction that sweetness and multiplication will fill your life from this moment forward. Call upon heaven to bless the work of your hands, your career, your business, your creativity, your family, your home. Speak directly to each area that needs restoration. When you name it, you give it permission to rise. As you pray, see waves of golden light surrounding the bowl. This is the energy of increase responding to your declaration. Speak words of authority: let every closed door open. Let every dry place receive rain. Let helpers find me. Let my name carry the fragrance of favor. Each word you speak becomes a vibration, and every vibration carries intention. Heaven responds not to repetition, but to resonance. Do not rush. Let your prayer unfold like incense rising before the throne. When you feel peace settling in your chest, take a small pinch of the mixture. Walk toward your front door, the symbolic threshold between your inner and outer worlds. Gently sprinkle it at the entrance and declare: let favor enter my home. Let wealth find me. Let my hands never run dry. You may also anoint the four corners of your home or workspace by sprinkling a bit of the mixture there while proclaiming, let prosperity dwell here. Let divine energy circulate freely. Each act is a statement of alignment, a decree that your surroundings are now harmonized with abundance. Remember, the power is not in the material but in the meaning you give it. When matter and spirit unite through faith, the physical becomes sacred. The rice and cinnamon become carriers of blessing, each grain and scent bearing the message of heaven, that you are seen, remembered, and destined for overflow. After you have completed the act, take the remaining mixture and place it in a small container, jar, or sachet. Keep it in a sacred place, near your Bible, your prayer corner, or wherever you connect most deeply with God. This becomes your symbolic covenant of increase. Every time you look at it, you are reminded that faith once sown continues to grow. It whispers to your spirit, my provision is in motion. My blessings are unfolding. This act is not mere ritual, it is spiritual alignment. The same God who used the widow's oil, the same Spirit who turned water into wine, is still working through symbols today. The divine principle has never changed: what you dedicate in faith becomes sanctified by heaven. When your words of gratitude touch these elements, they transform into living reminders of God's promise. Do this act at the beginning of your week or month, or at moments when you sense stagnation trying to return. The goal is not repetition, but reconnection, to refresh your energy, to re-anchor your belief. Each time you mix the rice and cinnamon again, you renew your covenant with divine supply. You say to heaven, I still believe. I still receive. When you finish praying, pause. Feel the atmosphere around you. It will be lighter, warmer, a quiet peace resting over your spirit. That peace is evidence. It is heaven's signature confirming that your request has been sealed. Stay in that stillness for a few moments. Let gratitude overflow. Visualize golden rivers of light flowing into your life, your home glowing with divine energy, your finances surrounded by protection, your work expanding with grace. Remember, faith operates beyond sight. The transformation begins in the unseen long before it manifests in your hands. When you look at the rice and smell the cinnamon, remind yourself that these are not ordinary things. They are living metaphors, carriers of your spoken word and God's creative breath. In spiritual science, faith is vibration. Every time you declare abundance, you release a sound frequency that attracts its own reflection. The more gratitude you speak, the stronger your magnetic field becomes. This is why consistent thankfulness keeps blessings circulating. So each morning, glance at your little container of rice and cinnamon. Whisper a short prayer, Father, thank you that my table is full, my path is open, and my cup overflows. This simple acknowledgement renews the vibration of abundance around you. If you choose, you may also share a pinch of the blessed mixture with someone in need, not as superstition, but as a gesture of faith. Just as the woman of Zarephath shared her last meal with the prophet and received overflow, generosity multiplies energy. When you give with intention, you extend your field of blessing outward, and divine circulation returns it multiplied. This sacred act teaches one eternal lesson: abundance is not something you chase, it is something you awaken. It begins in the spirit, travels through your words, and anchors itself in the material world. The rice and cinnamon are only mirrors, the real altar is within you. Now that you have consecrated the mixture and sealed your prayer, begin to walk as though your miracle has already arrived. This is the hidden key many overlook, the embodiment of answered prayer. When faith leaves your lips, it must enter your actions. Speak abundance, but also live as one who is already favored. Gratitude in motion attracts grace in manifestation. Each day, bless your home with your words. Speak into the air, this house shall never lack. Every room shall echo with peace and prosperity. Bless your work before you begin it. Bless your meals, your family, your sleep. Let every word become an offering of thankfulness. The universe, the angels, the very molecules around you respond to vibration, and nothing vibrates higher than a thankful heart. Cinnamon's fragrance will begin to linger in your environment. It is not only scent, it is energy. It carries a message to your subconscious and to the spirit realm, that favor now dwells here. Whenever you catch its aroma, smile knowingly. You have entered covenant territory, a space where your steps are guided and your efforts amplified. As you practice this, you will begin to notice subtle signs. Doors opening that once resisted. Conversations that turn in your favor. Payments or opportunities that come seemingly from nowhere. This is not coincidence, this is confirmation. Heaven has begun to move resources in your direction. The law of attraction and the law of faith have intertwined, and divine order is unfolding quietly yet powerfully. Remember, spiritual power flows where attention and emotion meet. When you pray or speak over your life, do so with feeling. Feel the outcome, not the obstacle. See your bills paid, not your debts piling. See your hands blessed, not your efforts frustrated. This emotional alignment magnetizes manifestation. Faith without emotion is like a seed without water. If you ever feel doubt rising, return to your small container. Hold it gently and breathe deeply. Remember that you have already sown in faith. The harvest may not yet be visible, but it is growing beneath the surface. Speak softly, my abundance is ripening. My favor is on its way. That simple act restores your vibrational alignment with heaven's frequency. And if fear whispers that it is impossible, silence it with the word, with God, all things are possible. Say it aloud until your spirit believes it again. Words are spiritual medicine. They recalibrate your energy and remind the universe of your authority. This ritual, simple as it is, reflects the deeper law written in all sacred traditions, that what is blessed becomes multiplied, and what is thanked for becomes permanent. The rice and cinnamon serve only as vessels, the true transformation is within you. Your mind, your words, your emotions are now synchronized with divine flow. Walk through your days with calm assurance. You are no longer waiting for favor, you are radiating it. Wherever you go, the atmosphere shifts. People feel your peace, your confidence, your fragrance of grace. And that, too, is part of the miracle. The external world rearranges itself to match the vibration you now carry. As this energy continues to build around you, understand that every declaration you make becomes a command to the unseen. The spiritual realm listens to conviction, not volume. When you speak with certainty, heaven echoes your tone. This is why the rice and cinnamon ritual is not merely about material increase, it is about training your spirit to command abundance with authority and humility. Now lift your hands and declare. Father, I am a vessel of divine increase. Let the fragrance of favor surround my life. Let my name be carried into places of opportunity and honor. These are not empty words. Every syllable you release carries frequency. Faith transforms those frequencies into matter. In that instant, you are shaping energy into form, your words become builders in the invisible realm. Say it again with deeper conviction. Wherever my name is spoken, let it carry grace and recognition. Whatever my hands touch, let it prosper. No spirit of lack, no word of negativity, no curse of delay shall stand against me. This is spiritual warfare through praise. Every positive declaration dismantles old energetic patterns of fear and limitation. When you affirm divine increase, you dissolve the vibration of poverty that once surrounded you. You are rewriting the code of your destiny, replacing scarcity with sufficiency, replacing struggle with flow. Now stretch your hand toward your home, your workspace, or even your wallet, and speak life. This place shall never know lack. This door shall always open to good. The energy of favor dwells here. Do not whisper this timidly, declare it as one who knows their covenant is sealed. The universe recognizes faith that carries authority. Then, take a deep breath and visualize the fragrance of cinnamon rising like a cloud around you. See it expanding, touching your family, your finances, your goals. Let it wrap your environment in golden light. This is not imagination, it is energetic prayer. You are activating both your faith and your subconscious to agree with divine abundance. Even science has begun to catch glimpses of this truth. Words and intention alter energy fields, and energy organizes matter. You are participating in this divine architecture. The prophetic act you began with rice and cinnamon is now extending into the field around you, influencing outcomes, aligning circumstances, summoning divine helpers. Whenever you feel weary, repeat the phrase. My life carries the fragrance of favor. Let it become a mantra, a rhythm that keeps your vibration high. You will begin to notice that even difficult days feel lighter, obstacles seem smaller, and help arrives faster. That is the fragrance of grace moving through your life, unseen but undeniable. Seal this part of the ritual by whispering. Thank you, Lord, for remembering me. Thank you for teaching my hands to prosper and my heart to remain humble. Then fall silent. Let the energy settle, like calm water after a wave. Feel the stillness. That peace is proof, the heavens have heard you. Now that your declaration has been sealed in spirit, it is time to protect and preserve the energy you've created. Every blessing, once birthed, must be guarded. Just as a seed planted in fertile soil must be shielded from storms, your new vibration of favor must be maintained through mindfulness, purity, and continual gratitude. Take authority over your environment once again. Stretch your hands toward your surroundings and proclaim, "This home shall never harbor lack. This atmosphere shall remain filled with divine peace. Every corner of this space is sanctified by the Spirit of God." As you speak these words, imagine light spreading across the walls, floor, and ceilings, radiant energy weaving a protective net around everything you love. This visualization is not fantasy, it is faith in motion. Energy obeys attention, and what you bless continually grows stronger. Now turn your focus inward. Speak over yourself. "My body is the temple of divine abundance. My mind is clear, my heart is pure, my hands are blessed." You are reprogramming your subconscious to match divine truth. Each affirmation becomes a spiritual firewall against negativity, gossip, jealousy, and energetic sabotage. Remember, spiritual warfare is not always loud, sometimes it is silent, fought in the battleground of your thoughts. From this day forward, refuse to entertain the vibration of worry. Worry is the thief of manifestation. When you worry, you reinvite scarcity into the atmosphere you have just purified. Instead, practice faith maintenance. Whenever doubt arises, replace it instantly with gratitude. Say, "Thank you, Lord, that it is already done." Gratitude is the divine shield of abundance, nothing destructive can coexist with it. If you sense heaviness in your home, a sudden sadness, tension, or confusion, simply open your container of rice and cinnamon. Hold it close and whisper, "Light of God, fill this space. Sweetness of favor, return." The fragrance will shift the atmosphere almost immediately, not by magic, but by vibration. You are reminding the energy of your home that it is consecrated ground. As you go about your days, keep the awareness that you are walking in covenant. Every step is holy ground because you are carrying the essence of divine favor. Even your presence becomes a blessing to others. People will be drawn to you without knowing why, your calmness, your confidence, your subtle aura of grace. This is the unseen evidence that the fragrance of heaven is upon you. When blessings begin to manifest, new opportunities, unexpected provision, reconciled relationships, pause and give thanks immediately. Say aloud, "This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." Gratitude anchors the miracle, it keeps the flow open. Without gratitude, the stream of abundance can fade. In the same way the rice symbolizes growth, and the cinnamon fragrance represents attraction, gratitude becomes the sustaining force. Together they form a holy trinity of increase, seed, scent, and song. The seed is your action, the scent is your favor, and the song is your thanksgiving. Guard these three and your prosperity will not only come, it will stay. You have now stepped fully into the realm of divine manifestation, where your words, faith, and actions converge into reality. The mixture of rice and cinnamon has become a mirror of your spiritual condition, stable, fragrant, multiplying. But this covenant requires consistency. Favor is not a one-time event, it is a state of vibration you must nurture daily. Each morning, when you rise, pause for a brief moment before you speak to anyone. Touch your container gently and whisper, "Lord, thank you that my storehouse overflows and my steps are ordered by your light." This single act resets your energy for the day, ensuring that every task you undertake begins in divine frequency. Throughout the day, watch your words. Never curse your work or your circumstances. Words are seeds, and the same mouth that blesses cannot plant weeds. If you speak lack, you summon it. If you speak favor, you sustain it. Be intentional. Say, "I am walking in increase. My life is surrounded by grace." Speak it even when circumstances contradict it. This is the language of faith, it speaks before the evidence appears. If you experience sudden financial pressure or emotional fatigue, revisit your ritual. Hold the rice and cinnamon once more. Feel the energy you invoked before, the peace, the warmth, the certainty. Say, Father, I remember what you promised. I remain in covenant with your abundance. You are reigniting the signal. Each repetition is not superstition but reinforcement of truth. Spiritually, you are strengthening your energetic field, your aura of prosperity. Just as incense rises to purify the air, your consistent declarations cleanse the vibration of your life. Over time, this becomes a shield so strong that no negativity can penetrate it. Poverty, envy, and fear lose their grip, because they cannot survive in an environment saturated with gratitude and light. You may also anoint your wallet, your tools, or your workspace with a tiny sprinkle of the blessed mixture. As you do, say, every effort here multiplies. Every seed planted here grows. You are dedicating your work to divine partnership, a reminder that true success flows not from struggle, but from alignment. And remember to rest. Rest is faith's twin. When you rest in peace, you demonstrate trust in God's timing. Anxiety signals disbelief, but rest proclaims assurance. Even nature follows this rhythm: seed time, growth, harvest, and rest. Trust that your spiritual field is already producing even when you cannot yet see the sprouts. In this silence, miracles mature. You will soon begin to notice synchronicities, people offering unexpected help, opportunities aligning perfectly, or delayed blessings suddenly arriving. These are confirmations, heaven acknowledging your persistence. Every prayer, every act, every grain of rice has been heard. So, stay alert and grateful. Speak softly to your blessings. Treat them as living companions, not temporary gifts. When your heart remains humble, the flow of abundance never ceases. The same fragrance that fills your home will soon fill your life story, the aroma of divine success and serenity. Now, as this sacred teaching comes to completion, remember, what began with rice and cinnamon was never about objects, it was about alignment. You have learned to blend faith with action, gratitude with declaration, matter with spirit. This is the true essence of divine manifestation, to make the invisible visible through intention, purity, and faith-filled action. Stand still for a moment and feel the energy that now surrounds you. It is calmer, softer, yet stronger than before. That peace is not emptiness, it is presence. The Holy Spirit moves quietly in the still heart, confirming that heaven has recorded your decree. What you have spoken in faith now exists in seed form within the unseen realm. And just as a seed knows how to grow, so too does your declaration know how to manifest. Say softly, Father, I seal my covenant of abundance. Let my life forever carry the fragrance of your favor. This simple prayer completes the circle: intention, action, gratitude, and surrender. From now on, every time you smell cinnamon or see grains of rice, remember this truth: I am divinely provided for. These sacred symbols are now anchors in your daily life, reminders that you are a co-creator with God, that heaven responds to faith, and that what you bless will never die. But don't stop here. Share your testimony. Tell others that faith still works, that miracles still unfold through simple acts of obedience. When you speak about what God has done, you multiply your miracle, because gratitude is contagious, and your story becomes a torch that reignites faith in someone else's darkness. Continue to renew this prophetic act when you feel the need, not out of fear, but out of love and connection. Each renewal is a spiritual reminder that abundance is cyclical, not linear. As you give, you receive. As you sow, you reap. As you bless, you are blessed again. This is the eternal rhythm of divine economy. In the days ahead, walk boldly. Carry yourself as one wrapped in invisible royalty. You no longer need to chase favor, favor now recognizes you. Divine helpers, financial blessings, and opportunities will be drawn to you by the fragrance of your faith. When doubt tries to return, remember the law of vibration: whatever you believe and feel deeply, you attract. So, remain in gratitude. Guard your energy like a sacred garden. Water it with daily prayer, sunlight it with positive confession, and protect it with peace. The same God who breathed abundance into your bowl now breathes it into your path. Say this aloud one last time. I am a vessel of divine increase. My cup overflows. My doors are open. My destiny is aligned with favor. And so it is.